Listen, people, Gabi did nothing wrong, besides the murder, of course, but guys, her mindset. This video is here to address the whole #FuckGabi thing and deep six the hate against Abby as quick as she killed Sasha. Oh, that was probably too soon, wasn't it? Gabi has been at the center of discussion, and for good reason. She killed one of, if not the most beloved characters in all of Attack on Titan. Ever since then, fans have been, shall I say, conflicted on how to feel about our favorite child soldier. Or most hated, probably? But in today's video, I aim to discuss the divide between the community with Gabi and offer a different point of view than just #FuckGabi. This isn't exactly a video meant to change your mind, rather just give you some points to think of before you decide Gabi is either the greatest or worst thing since sliced bread. So, with that out of the way, subscribe! It's free! And if you do it, I'll give you a cookie! Let's get into it. Firstly, I think it's important to establish in this discussion some of the basic information when it comes to Gabi before even touching the hottest talking points of this discussion. Gabi is a child soldier, but let's really put emphasis on the child part because Gabi is actually 12. No, really. Gabi Braun is only at the age of 12, and on top of that is a child soldier who's a candidate for being the inheritor of the Armored Titan. Gabi, because of this, has a different perspective than most other characters in this series. Being only 12, she's not had much experiences in her life that would lead her to stop and think about her situation. To Gabi, her goal is to simply prove to others that Eldians are not worth less than the dirt people walk on. She's motivated in that goal. So much so that she's in Marley's military on the front lines risking her life. To help put this more into perspective, when Falco beats Gabi in a race because of Reiner telling Falco to save Gabi from the sad fate of being a Titan shifter, Gabi gets angry and lashes out at Falco. And when Falco tells Gabi he's doing it for her in a young love kind of situation, it goes right over Gabi's head, except she's not as quick to catch it as Drac would. Gabi is such an inexperienced child that she doesn't even know when a boy likes her. Think about that. On top of that, you have multiple scenes in the show throughout showing how childlike and innocent Gabi really is. Her enjoying herself in the festival, emptying Reiner's wallet, eating until she has to be literally dragged, and on top of that, look at her facial expressions. I mean, there is no point here. I just think these facial expressions are really funny, and I wanted you all to see them again. Back on topic, you also have the fact that there is obvious Eldian propaganda in Marley that paints the picture of her very own race being devils. It's hard to stop prejudice on that level when you are raised to believe that your very kind from birth are bad people. Taking into account everything I just said, from her being 12, a child soldier, her inexperience and innocence, really begin to start painting a picture that can perfectly explain the reasoning for her doing what she did before the next episode has time to even explain it. This is where we get into more subjective and theory building for characters, but I do believe there are some major factors and reasons for Gabi's decisions. Gabi killing Sasha and Lobov isn't something I support one bit, but you can't blame the kid for feeling like she is responsible to do something. She just watched her whole home be invaded by these people she's been told for so long are devils that will come to trample them, and essentially they kind of just did that. Her friend Zofia was murdered by Eren Yeager, who moments before this, the savior of our kin, Willie Tybur, declared as the ultimate villain and threat to their very fiber as a society. Indirectly, because of Eren's actions, Gabi and Colt witnessed the death of Udo as well, which is a very important scene in all of this. Afterwards, Gabi lets out a horrifying scream, which is excellently delivered by her VA Ayune Sakura. Make no mistake, this is an extremely traumatic event to witness as a 12-year-old child. But Gabi is a strong person, and they try to take Udo to a hospital, but they see everyone injured laying outside, and Udo is refused help by the doctors, telling them to their face that he's dead anyways. Gabi witnesses firsthand the pain Eren has caused the people of her home, as they're left laying out in a yard, on sheets as they're in pain, unattended to, dying. I mean, just how many injured people there are is astonishing. Gabi seeing firsthand up front what Eren's attacks did to her people that she feels so strongly is misrepresented and given a bad name that she's trying to correct sends her into a rage. Her goal now is to fight back to stop what Eren is doing to her people and do her part to help stop this from happening further. But when going to a couple of gate guards to volunteer, they are then shot by none other than Sasha Blouse, and trucks full of soldiers are killed instantaneously. At every turn, Gabi has only tried to help her people, but they are all either injured or killed by the invaders from Paradis. So she takes the gun. Her goal now is to kill Eren Yeager. Which brings us to the most recent episode, where as the soldiers are retreating, Gabi chases after them. After everything they've done to them, Gabi doesn't want them to do that. But here is the thing about that. What's she gonna do? Gabi is one 12-year-old girl. There is no possible way she could be able to do anything against the Survey Corps. This is an example of Gabi's hot head. She is so filled with rage that she can't stop herself from going after them. She's ready to sacrifice herself to fight them, even if it means she has no one. Gabi is. Falco, on the other hand, is very mature for his age and has an interesting perspective on all of this because of his interactions with Kruger and his experiences moments prior with Reiner and Eren. So catching up to Gabi, Falco tells her that this is enough and that even she knows that much. But Gabi, she can't let the deaths of Zofia and Udo go. She talks about how, as an Eldian, she was spit upon for their reputation. But her goal in doing all of this was to change that perception and be an example to the common people and to everyone else that Eldians aren't bad. They're just mislabeled. But even though it's an internment zone, this is still her home. This is the home that she loves. She loves these people, her family that lives there, and Eren trampled on that, which to her is unforgivable. Falco, on the other hand, has an interesting perspective. Years prior, they were the ones to do the exact same thing that's happening to them to Paradis. We all know that scene very well. We've seen it countless times, but Falco sees this as it is what it is, and that's revenge. While at the end of the day, this is all for freedom for Paradis. Eren and the others still want their revenge for what they did to their homes as well. Then one of the most beautiful and simplistic responses from Gabi. Did you see that happen? There was so much to dissect here that opens Gabi's mindset up quite a bit. On one hand, not actually seeing this act of brutality at the hands of their homeland is a rather interesting mindset. As for Gabi, she kind of has no proof of this event even happening. They know they went over, but they know nothing about them killing people innocently. Gabi didn't see it. It's out of sight, out of mind. On the other hand, this is a very narrow way of thinking. Gabi is traumatized from these events and is so angry that she is ready to go after them and kill them still. Not very unsimilar to Eren himself in Season 1. After Gabi kills Lobov, poor guy, you see Gabi's eyes become fixated on the Zeppelin. Gabi tells Falco she's going to kill them, but Falco tries to talk some sense into her, though in the end, Falco recalls Reiner's words, and as Gabi makes up her mind to go, he goes along with Gabi. This is where it happens. Gabi kills Sasha. What you say? That was still too soon, wasn't it? What's important to take away from this killing of Lobov and Sasha is that Gabi killing them is not like this out of nowhere thing for her. Not one bit. Essentially, what Eren and the others did was, in a sense, radicalize Gabi against Paradis. The old saying, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, can be used very well here. While I do think Gabi did a horrible thing, Gabi, to me, is completely justified for how she feels and the actions she took. While we spent 4 seasons with these previous characters and Sasha, we have only just been introduced to Gabi, which means we aren't quite used to her yet. So probably why a lot of people hate her. And on top of that, Gabi is really just a 12-year-old brainwashed child soldier. Do you know why they use child soldiers? Because they're easy to brainwash and control. It's inhumane. And really, I think Gabi is as much a victim as the people of Paradis are because of this reason. We can't hate on a 12-year-old for being a victim of its entire country, treating them like devils and then turning them into weapons. Can we? That being said, of course, it's okay to hate Gabi for killing Sasha and Lobov. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. But we must realize that there are shades of gray here. It isn't just Gabi is bad. Much like how in previous episodes, Eren killing hundreds of innocent people, is not really brought up in this discussion. I think Gabi is at least somewhat less to blame than Eren is in comparison, if that makes sense. So yes, I do believe that Gabi is a redeemable character. I do believe that she is completely justified personally, and while murder isn't good, she was literally just trying to defend her homeland and was willing to sacrifice her life to do so. Most people would indeed call that a noble cause and brave on some level. But what do you think? Do you hate Gabi? Did my video help shine some extra light on her character? If so, then give this video a like. Comment down below, and be sure to subscribe for weekly Attack on Titan videos, along with Promised Neverland and a weekly live anime podcast where we cover AOT, Promised Neverland, Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, and still X-Arm for some reason. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.